Meanwhile, Scott Morrison has apologised to his colleagues after it was revealed that he secretly swore himself into 5 ministries during the pandemic. Even those closest to him, including the very loyal Treasurer Josh Frydenberg, were kept in the dark. His unprecedented action could trigger a wave of court challenges.
The former Prime Minister and secret minister for 5 portfolios leaves his Sydney house Tuesday amid pressure for him to also leave Parliament House.
He needs to resign.
Former Cabinet colleagues unleashing on Scott Morrison over his unprecedented ministerial takeover during the pandemic.
To be honest, I feel that the Australian people were betrayed.
That view has bipartisan backing.
This has been government by deception.
At the start of the pandemic, the then PM took joint control for the health and finance roles. He added Home Affairs, Treasury and Energy, Industry and Resources in mid-2021.
An extraordinary and unprecedented trashing of our democracy.
3 of the ministers who shared their roles did so unwittingly. Matthias Cormann, Josh Frydenberg and Karen Andrews confirming they were all kept in the dark.
Individually and collectively, it was not the right thing to do in secrecy.
I think, frankly, it's time for cooler heads to prevail.
Scott Morrison broke his silence on Tuesday.
It was there only as a safeguard and it wasn't needed.
Asked if he'd secretly taken on more than the 3 portfolios already revealed.
Not to my recollection.
Faced with the evidence, the former PM was forced into a mea culpa, by lunchtime issuing a lengthy statement apologising to his colleagues and laying out his side of the story. Mr Morrison said it was a precaution, one which he now regrets, admitting in hindsight the arrangements to take over Home Affairs and Treasury were unnecessary.
I cannot conceive of how that occurs.
The Governor-General ticked off on the changes, but Mr Albanese argues the blame lies with the former government.
Not just Mr Morrison, but others who were involved in this need to be held to account.
Defending his secrecy, Mr Morrison insists
none of these powers were exercised.
Scott Morrison did use his powers, though, as Resources Minister to overrule Keith Pitt on the controversial PEP 11 gas licence decision. In that instance, the former Prime Minister argues it was the right decision in Australia's national interest.
The Prime Minister can't direct the Minister to make a decision on those. And if I wished to be the decision maker, then I had to take the steps that I took.
The intervention may open the Commonwealth up to legal challenges. The Solicitor General will provide more advice by next Monday.
The implications are still being worked through,
including for what the PM says was the misleading of Parliament, the consequences of which Scott Morrison could face when he returns to Canberra in September. Trudy McIntosh, Sky News, Canberra.